To Works Demi. My name is AM Misal, and this is going to be an amazing course. Believe me, this is going to change how you think about writing. This is going to solve some of your biggest challenge when it comes to writing. I just want to let you know that writing is what has changed my life. Writing is what made me who I am today. And writing is exactly the first passion that I've encountered where I started my personal development journey and my growth journey. I understand writing in itself is one of the highest paid and of course one of the most respected professions in the whole world. When you tell people that you are a writer, people listen to you. They want to know, how do you do these things you do? They're interested. They want to just figure out, how exactly do you do these things. Writing is, people will be looking at you like you don't know what you're doing until you have a book about it, and then you begin to influence generations upon generations. This course is going to help you to craft your message. As soon as you have a message, even if you are still looking for your voice, this course will help you how to find your voice. This will help you how to refine it, because just because you are gold, it does not mean that you completely are going to become attractive. You must refine the gold, you must refine the diamond, you must take your step in refining your gift, right? And then how do you do this? How do you use it? The two ways we use some things we've refined is to increase our income and our influence. If you know how to target your influence very well, it will reflect in your income. And if you know how to target your income very well, you can use it to increase your influence. But this one, we're focusing on the two at the same time, right? And we are focusing on creative writing, but not just in anywhere where we're becoming creative writers in non-fiction writing, such as blog posts, your self-help books, motivationals, devotionals, memoirs, biographies, reflective writing, and what have you. So I have written a number of articles, many of them. I have published books both at the corporate level for my organization, Well of Excellence, the one you know as Works Demi now. And since in my undergraduate days, I have been actively involved in writing, publishing. I've been an editor-in-chief in school and all of this. I've written 2 books. This is one of my books. You are seeing Start Your Future. The other one is In Tune. Start Your Future is about how to build anything worthwhile from the ground up. And I've also written a book on connecting with people who seem to be out of your league, which is In Tune. And we're going to focus first of all in the historical viewpoints of this course, creative non-fiction writing. One of the things you should know is that this thing called writing is an ancient craft. In fact, I always believe that almost every art found their root from writing. If you see a poet, or if you see a singer, or somebody dramatizing, they always have it written somewhere. Somehow we always drive our first inspiration from writing. But some of the first things that exposes us to writing are some of our religious books, the Bible, the Quran, the Talmud, some interesting religious books, John Bunyan, Pilgrim Progress, some books, Acts of the Apostles. You will see that these are books that should have just been written straightforward, but the guys were powerful creators. They use their creativity to create something so impeccable. If you see the world of politics, George Orwell, the book was written in a very, very long time. But it has still been here. It's still, when we talk about the Animal Farm, you remember that book? Yes, the Animal Farm. And then you remember Daniel Defoe. You definitely remember him, who wrote Robinson Crusoe. Yes. So all of these are historical facts about how creative writing started. From Animal Farm in 1945, and even before then in our religious books. And then, in history, historians, sometimes they write using third person, like they, them, they did this, they did that. And then they convey these truths as history, but in creative ways. You get? And sometimes they write in third person. They write in limited third person, like they focus on one character. They enter the person's thought. They tell you. They sometimes assume they know the person, every move. So the writer assumes he knows the entire thought of that character. So he begins to describe what the character is doing. And sometimes they assume they don't know what the character is thinking. They just show the character, acting. So their objective, they describe only what can be seen and be heard. So mostly in fictions. But history is always filled up with cases of creative writing, how people wrote. And this is it. So we are going to focus on not just history, but if you check our contemporary writers too, you will see that there are many people who are writing now. John Maxwell, Miles Monroe, some of the people they've all been writing, and you like them because they've been able to communicate facts and truth using the same creative power that all writers use. For example, if those books they were written before, you will never see GPS or hotspot. Now you can see them and you can connect with them, right? So this is it. So the hallmark of creative non-fiction writing is the authority of the author. And what I mean by this is that you have some authority to write. Now this is very, very important. Let's start with the mindset stuff. This is very important. You have an authority to write. Now what do I mean by that? Who do you think on earth has the authority to write your biography? Apart from you. It's only you. Only you know yourself. Who do you think on earth has the authority to write about your experiences? Only you. Who do you think people will believe when you try to write your story? People will believe you more than they believe anybody else. You have a permission to be you. And believe me, there has never been a perfect time like now. Right now, you can just get up, go on social media and begin to tell your story and begin to discuss with the world how you think about these things that everybody believes you should be this way. You can tell the world that this is what you think about what everybody else has been thinking. Okay? So you see people who come with their story. Robert Kiyosaki will write Rich Dad Poor Dad and tell you how he understands finances using his own story and his own experiences. And even though some of the concepts are not exactly what you see in Harvard business books, but at least they worked for him. And because of that, he had the authority to speak. So he owned his message and he owned his results. So if you have a result in something, come on, you have authority to talk about it. You should go ahead and talk about your thing, write your thing, right? We'll first talk about the types. This creative writing can be fiction, poetry, creative non-fiction, playwriting, hybrid forms. That means maybe you're writing fiction, but then you add some level of truth to it, using research. Your poetry can be added in playwriting, hybridizing some of these things. And then there's genre bonding. All of these are types of creative writing, but like I said, we're focusing on non-fiction.